When we wake up in the morning, our minds often drift toward familiar concerns, those lingering thoughts stored as mental patterns and memories. Each worry is tied to specific moments, places, and people. As the day begins, our brain replays past experiences, pulling us into a mental and emotional connection with what's already happened. These recollections stir up emotions rooted in previous events. Thinking about our challenges can instantly trigger feelings of sadness, discomfort, or dissatisfaction. In this way, our emotional state is shaped by our thoughts, and that state carries over into how we live each day. Over time, this cycle becomes self-reinforcing. The past we know so well starts to shape the future we expect. If we believe our thoughts are the sole architects of our destiny and we can't imagine beyond our emotional patterns, then we remain mentally anchored to what's already behind us. And so, we continue to recreate the same life. Many people, upon waking, instinctively reach for their phones, scrolling through messages, emails, and social media, posting updates and selfies, checking the latest stories. This digital routine reinforces their sense of identity and keeps them tethered to familiar behaviors. From there, the day unfolds in predictable steps: getting out of bed, heading to the bathroom, sipping coffee, showering, dressing, commuting the same route, interacting with the same people, and triggering the same emotional responses. Life becomes a loop, a set of programmed actions that run automatically. This repetition can erode personal agency. People may find themselves trapped in habits that operate beneath their awareness. No external force compels them to live this way, it's simply the result of deeply ingrained patterns. By the age of 35, roughly 95% of who we are consists of memorized behaviors, emotional reactions, subconscious routines, rigid beliefs, and internal narratives. Functioning like software. Only a small fraction of our conscious mind reflects our true aspirations for health, happiness, and freedom. Yet the body continues to follow its old programming. So how do we break free and initiate real change? It requires stepping beyond the analytical mind, the barrier between conscious thought and subconscious behavior. Meditation offers a path forward. Through consistent practice, individuals can slow their brain activity and access deeper states of awareness, allowing them to reprogram their internal systems. Many wait for a crisis, a trauma, illness, or alarming diagnosis, before embracing transformation. But change doesn't have to be born from suffering. It can also arise from joy, inspiration, and a desire to grow. It's encouraging to see more people recognizing this truth. Still, most spend the majority of their lives, up to 70%, in a state of stress and survival. They anticipate the worst, drawing conclusions from past pain, and live in fear. That fear becomes familiar, even comforting, and they cling to it emotionally. When a person repeatedly engages in the same thoughts and feelings, their body begins to respond automatically, without conscious input. This can lead to anxiety, panic, and emotional dependency. Problems and negative emotions become a way to validate their limitations and feel something, anything. When the moment for change arrives, the mind may replay old memories, triggering the same chemical reactions in the brain and body. This repetition locks them into the same emotional state. But what drives this process? The body itself. It acts as the unconscious mind. If someone imagines a worst-case scenario for their future, the body reacts as if it's happening now. It doesn't distinguish between real events and imagined ones. Many people seek emotional validation and struggle to let go of familiar feelings, even when they want to. In fact, the body can overpower the mind, simply because it's been conditioned that way. Stepping into the unknown can provoke fear, guilt, and discomfort due to the uncertainty of outcomes. Yet embracing the unknown may be the most powerful way to shape a new future. So when people say they can't foresee what's ahead, I remind them, forecasting the future is the first step in creating it. Sometimes, not knowing is more valuable than knowing. We can choose the thoughts and behaviors we want to cultivate, and use mental rehearsal to bring those intentions to life. You can begin by closing your eyes and mentally placing yourself in a situation you want to experience. Rehearsing your actions in your imagination, yes, that's a real practice. Visualizing your ideal behavior helps the brain lay down neural pathways as if the event has already occurred. The brain doesn't distinguish between imagined scenarios and actual experiences. That's why mental rehearsal can be a powerful tool for shaping outcomes. It allows us to rewire our minds toward the future we want, rather than staying tethered to the past. When we consistently visualize the actions we aspire to take, those mental circuits become embedded like software, guiding us toward a more fulfilling life. But the real challenge lies in teaching the body to emotionally embrace the future as if it's already real. We can't wait for success to feel empowered, or for love to feel joy, or for healing to feel relief. Relying on external events to trigger internal change is an outdated model of cause and effect. When we recognize that what we seek is already within us, we shift our focus to the source, and begin shaping our reality from the inside out. In the Newtonian worldview, people often live in scarcity, waiting for something outside themselves to change their lives. That model assumes unpredictability and external control. But the quantum perspective flips that script. It's about becoming the cause that generates the effect. The moment you feel abundance, you begin to attract it. When you embody strength, you start moving toward success. When you feel whole, healing begins. Love for yourself expands into love for life. In this model, you are both the initiator and the outcome. By aligning your emotional state with your desired future, you begin to create it. Feeling wealthy generates wealth. Feeling empowered sets success in motion. Feeling whole opens the door to healing and self-love. You become the architect of your own transformation. Living as a victim means believing that your thoughts and emotions are shaped by others, by circumstances, or by past events. But when you shift your mindset and emotional patterns, you become the creator of your world. You can say, "My thoughts and feelings are reshaping my life." That's when you truly begin to believe that your reality is self-made. Yet many people treat their thoughts as absolute truth. One of the most liberating realizations is that your thoughts and feelings aren't necessarily facts. We process between 60,000 and 70,000 thoughts each day, and most of them are recycled from the past. If we believe our thoughts define our destiny, we'll keep repeating the same choices, behaviors, and experiences. And those experiences will trigger the same emotions. Recognizing this cycle helps us become more aware of how we think, act, and feel. Metacognition is the practice of observing your own mind. The more awareness we bring to our subconscious patterns, the less likely we are to operate on autopilot. Through meditation, we confront the thoughts, behaviors, and emotions of our old self. We dismantle that identity by introducing new thoughts and shifting the body into a new emotional state. With repetition, this process deepens. We begin to understand ourselves more clearly and release emotional blocks. It's like tending a garden, removing weeds and preparing the soil for new growth. As we learn to know ourselves, we also become more empathetic toward others, especially during discomfort. When we face an uncomfortable moment, a mental program may try to pull us away from the present. Without a clear vision of the future, life becomes predictable, and we remain stuck in the past. If we wake up without a vision, we see the same people, visit the same places, and repeat the same routines. In that case, we're no longer creating reality through our personality, our environment begins to shape our thoughts and feelings subconsciously. Every person, object, place, and experience forms neural connections in the brain. Every interaction evokes emotion. Some people use their boss to validate old beliefs. Others seek conflict to reinforce emotional dependency. Some rely on friends to justify their attachment to suffering. These individuals depend on the external world to feel anything at all. True change goes beyond altering our surroundings. Meditation is a tool for disconnecting from external stimuli and calming the brain. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Listening to soft music through headphones can further reduce sensory input. You can even instruct your body to enter a calm, obedient state. When you do this, you stop eating, smelling, reacting, and sensing. You become still. And you'll agree, our thoughts define us. When the body tries to return to familiar emotional patterns, we notice that our attention has shifted to those emotions. That means we're channeling energy into the past and draining it from the present. But once we recognize this, we can bring the body back to the now and focus on what's happening here. For example, if you feel restless at 8 a.m. because you're usually busy at that time, you can remind your body that it's okay to be still, you'll return to your schedule later. If you usually check your email at 11 a.m., your body might crave that familiar chemical state. When we realize our body is seeking specific emotions, we can gently guide it back to the present and affirm that it's no longer in charge, we are. This strengthens our will and helps us rise above old programming. With repetition, this becomes second nature, like saying, "I'm sitting." Eventually, the body stops being just a vessel and becomes an extension of the mind. We release emotions that keep us anchored to the past and shift from matter to energy. This transformation has been observed in brain scans, and its outcomes can be predicted. Subscribe now so you don't miss powerful new insights and practices. Like the video, it helps other spiritual seekers find it. And drop the word "source" in the comments, our shared energy signal to the universe.